Hey, I'm LPS Lady, and welcome to the first, I guess it's an episode, of Let's Photoshop. I am using Photoshop Elements 9. I don't know what you use. I'm using also it's a Wacom bamboo tablet, but I'm not exactly sure what kind it is. I don't know. I just know that it's a bamboo tablet. So I'm going to make a quick layout for Horseland, and I'm doing this because we're doing this whole Let's Photoshop thing because I'd gotten a request on Horseland.com, this site that I play on, if I did or was going to do any Photoshop. I'm not sure whether she said tutorial or videos or whatever. I don't honestly remember. But anyways, the width for this layout for Horseland, the home pages, the width is really 1,000 pixels. I just like having that random 1 in there. I don't know, it just kind of comforts me, but that's just me. And then I like having the height 1,520, just because that gives me enough room to work with a picture and then put scroll boxes at the bottom. So, unfortunately, for some reason, the default for the background content is transparent. I hate transparent because when you actually paste your background, it is the layer, and you have to make a new layer for a background, and I don't like transparent, but that's just me. So I'm going to set it to white, and I'm going to click OK to start it. I should have done this before I recorded. Oh, now what did I press? That's not what I wanted. I don't know how I clicked on it. I should have done this before I started getting all this stock set up. Backgrounds. I just found this and I really wanted to use it, and I thought that it would be an awesome background to start work with for this Photoshop thing. So I'm going to use this rectangle marquee tool. I'm not good at pronouncing words or whatever, but I'm going to use a square lasso tool. Edit, copy, edit, paste. Oh, it's so small, it's so tiny and cute. Just gonna have to resize this. I think that's about the middle. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna put this all the way to the back, because this is what I fell in love with the picture. Okay, since it's so small, I have to redo this black thing, which really sucks, because I don't want to do it. I don't want the black thing. So now I gotta delete it, yes. Deselect. I really don't know where this is going. Copy. Well, now since there's not much of the black thing left, I can do that. Okay. Now to find the subject. I have my folders done different, just weirdly. Let's see what I have here. No, none of those I want. I thought I had something. Let's use this one. Look at that pretty pony! His name is It's from Colorized Stock on DeviantArt. Oh, he's such a pretty pony. I'm gonna keep some of his tail, even though I'm probably not gonna keep it once I start erasing. I like using the copy, that way I can have multiples if I mess up or something. And then paste. Okay, so the reason that I did the lasso thing is because the click and cutout is, I don't like using it on here. And so I just erase all the background until I get getting as close to the pony as I dare. I'd rather cut off a little bit of the pony than have the background, but that's just my philosophy. I really wish I'd prepped all this before I started recording. Live and learn. That click you just heard was the backdrop for the it was kind of like the sky for the stop motion, because I have my stop motion set up on this desk, and then this background is held up with tape, and the tape just gave. I have my computer and stuff set up on my desk. I move it all to do the stop motion, which is how it looks so big. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Oh, I really wish I had gotten this all set up. I guarantee you I'm fairly sure this is not fun, just watching me sit here and erase. My computer's thinking really hard. I know you're thinking really hard, computer. Thank you for thinking about actually cooperating with me. I probably have so many chunks, it's not even funny. I need to get a new nib. I need to replace the nib on my pen. Just have to get the last bits on the leg, which will take forever. I'm not even really, I guess careful with the feet, because we don't really need the feet for this. manipulation. And I will show you why in a very, very little bit. I like this pony. He's so pretty. I love the apples. I think I got a little bit left on his head, and then it's all ready to go. Oh, I really should probably save this as something. Let's see, let's save this as YouTube project. Yeah, let's save it as that. Okay. Now, comparatively, the pony is smaller than the tree, which is kind of good right now. Looking off into the to the moon and stuff. Saw the moon. Didn't get everything. I really should probably. I guess I wasn't done. Never done erasing good scenes ever. Yeah. I just want to get all the little grassy bits off so it doesn't look so good. Well, yes, this is like, I guess a test project or something. I just kind of want to make it, I kind of want to sell it on Horseland. So it has to be somewhat good. And then there's just my own pet peeve about the grass. Okay. So you see that he's way, way lighter than the background. So what we do to fix this is we take the burn tool. I have it on highlights, but I set it on midtones with a really big brush. So with my tablet, it's pressure sensitive. So with a big brush, I can just get it all in one fell swoop without having to go over it a bunch of times with a really small brush. And so see that burns very nicely. And for some reason my computer is lagging, so I'm not seeing this correctly. And what's really awesome with this picture is that the lighting from here is just is almost the same on the pony. So that's cool. He's still not quite done. I still need to burn a little more. That is almost perfect, almost. Okay, and so next, I'm going to duplicate the layer and pick a color of the light from the, I think I'm going to pick a color from the grass. It's going to be like a light color. And then I'm just going to take the paint bucket. I'm going to paint over him and put this on the layer soft light. And see, he looks a lot more like this now. I'm going to get a lighter color and duplicate this. Oh wait, I don't have to do as many paint buckets. And then paint bucket that. Wow, that did not do a lot. I need a lighter color. How do I get a lighter color? Where is the lightest color? Here it is. Kind of defeats the whole purpose. I guess he looks a bit better like that, I suppose. Oh shoot, I should have done this before. Okay, so with the horse, to blend his feet into the ground, and I completely forgot about this, just because I'm me. So, I'm going to take this grass brush. Yeah, that's a good size. And since the grass is so tall, I'm going to erase his feet. And so now it looks like he's in the meadow. And sadly, I have to do this to both light layers to make it look like he fits on here. on the back feet. Yeah. That's not actually so bad. I'm not completely confident in my abilities, but that's just me. Yeah, I almost wish I'd placed him somewhere else, but I don't. It's somewhere. Yeah. Okay, so next, I'm gonna paint his hair. New layer, palette. I like having my palette out first, because I'm just basically gonna cover this whole head up here. And what you want to do is you take, since this is such a dark mane, I'm trying to find a nice lightish color that I can play off of, because I'm gonna mess around with the colors later. Okay, I found my color, and it's at 100. Always make sure that your brush is like at 100 opacity, because that's how opacity is like how faded it is, and I always forget that when I'm painting, like to do my palette, I need to have it 100 opacity. And so I'm just gonna make a palette like this. So that's the base. I'm gonna make one with 3-brush base. And then I'm going to go a shade up. No, that's not how I want it. I'm going to go a shade up. And this is going to be light 1, but I'm just going to put a 1 on there. And then repeat. I like going up to having 6. Having 6 light things. So that's 2. 3. 'This is going to be 4. This is 5. 5, and then I like with the 6th one having a really, really light color. Because for me, the 6th light is like, it's the final highlight. Okay, so now that we have the palette, I'm going to save it. Always, always save your work after you do even the tiniest thing. Okay, so above this, that way I don't get weird colors. I'm going to make a new layer and name it Main Base. And then for my brush, make sure it's like, I want to say it's like a calligraphic brush. I honestly don't know what the name of this brush is. I just know it's kind of swoopy like this, and at the ends it's faded. You want something with faded ends if you're using a tablet. I don't know how to paint hair with the mouse, so I don't know what the settings and stuff are that you need for that. And so I'm just gonna set the brush at 75 opacity, which is like, anyway, that's how I like it. And then I'm just gonna paint his. I'm just gonna paint his mane. And it's okay if your mane, it doesn't look like a real mane, because it's going to when you get the more we get along into this. You're just trying to cover up the original mane, if you can. There is a way to like get rid of the extra hair and stuff. I might do that if I do another episode, and I teach how to get rid of a halter or check or something. I don't know. I haven't really thought it that much through yet. And it's fine that you have these little holes in it. Just towards down here, not quite up here. The undo button is your friend when you're painting hair. And layers are your friend too. I do not recommend like trying to paint the base of the hair and then you just keep working in the same layer, because you will make so many mistakes and you'll want to try and like fix them, but layers are just, there's so much. I love my layers. Okay, I think his mane is good. And zoom out to see where your light source is. Light source is coming from over here. And I like with the palette to do something like that, like this. I'm gonna make it really bright and sunny, even though it's not a bright and sunny picture. Oop. Make sure it's not on the star here. This helps you if you do have trouble trying to remember where your light source is and stuff. You draw little lines like that to help you remember. I don't often need it, but I figured it would be best to do this in this tutorial or video. I'm just gonna call it a tutorial. Okay, so now we're ready to go on to the second one. So I'm gonna name this Main Light 1. And this is how I name things. You don't have to name things like this. You can name it whatever you want. You can have like a big long title or whatever. And then I'm just gonna keep it at this where it was, but I'm gonna move my brush down one size so that it's at 7. I painted the mane with an 8. And so every single highlight, it goes down one. And so now I'm gonna paint the light source. I'm gonna paint highlights on his hair. It's just such a pretty horsey. And I know it doesn't look like regular horse, like it doesn't look like his original hair, but it will when we're done. I'll show you how to do that when we're done. Since there's not a lot of light down here, you don't want to put a lot of highlights down there. You want to put a couple in just for like contrast or whatever. It's mostly up here where the light is going to hit his hair. But it's not down in here usually. And so now we're ready to go on to the second highlight. Main Light. Ooh. Mindful of the catch button. Main Light 2. And you keep the brush's opacity at 75 throughout the whole hair painting process, or at least I do. 6. Oh wait, nope. I want it to go to 6. Okay, and then you zoom in 1. And then you just follow where you had your original highlights. I probably put too many highlights there, but I can fix that later. Ugh. Just gotta remember what this is. Because for some reason, for me, Photoshop it closes down on me from time to time. And on to the next one. Main Light 3. And zoom in 1. Then take your brush down to 5, or at least I'm going to. And follow where you put your second one. Since it's such a light color, I like adding weird highlights down in here when you get to like 30. I like adding the small little highlights that you have in here, just really contrast when you get to that. Okay, and then main light 4. Oh, excuse me. Okay. 4. Ooh, I didn't want to do that, but we can see it work better. Remember where the highlights are. Add some more highlights down here. Add a couple weird strands of light here and here. So that way it's not all just one chunk of color in one area. Alright. Main light 5. Light 5 is really, really bright. I didn't realize it was this bright. Because it is the 5th light, and it would be pretty bright, actually. As I said, I like having these, I like having little, lights down in here in the hair. That way it's not like, as I said, it's not one big chunk of color down here. There is actual variant. Makes it look a little more realistic. Alright, last highlight. Main light 6. And for this one, we were supposed to do 3 for like 5, but I forgot. It doesn't look too bad actually. I really like it. And then light 6, I like having the brush at size 2 for this one. That way, this can go down in all the little cracks and crevices that the bigger brushes can't really get into. I like putting quite a bit of pressure on this 6. That way it actually shows up. I don't think there really should be any light there. And let's add a little bit. And then zoom out to see how the progress is. I think there needs to be a little more light down at the bottom, but not too much. Just enough to make it variated. There. Okay, and here's the part where we change everything up. Okay, I highly recommend that you duplicate your layer that you duplicate all layers that you want duplicated of the hair. I like duplicating 6, but merging it down so that it's just 1, and then making another copy. Okay, so you make a copy, and then you hide the original. Make a copy, and then hide the original. Make a copy, and then hide the original. If that is what you want to do. There are various ways to draw hair. This is just one of the ways. This is the way that I've found works for me. And then you merge down all of your copies together. Duplicate, hide, duplicate, hide. And this, I have to save like every single time I do this. Because for some reason, at some point, my Photoshop, it'll close down when I'm dragging down layers. Duplicate. Rarely do you ever want to duplicate and merge down your base copy, because all the little flyaways and all the nice little things are up in the others. And if you duplicate that and keep it, see how chunky it is? It doesn't look good at all. Okay. So now that we have them all merged down, you take your burn tool and you take it at a fairly sizable brush. You set it on mid-tones. I have mine set on exposure for 38%. But it doesn't quite matter how much you set it at, just whatever is comfortable for you. And then you burn where the shadows and stuff are. That is actually too big a brush for me. There we go. And just burn. Burn it. Now it looks a lot more realistic when you zoom out. Because now it's got the highlights and it's got the lowlights in it. I think the highlights are just a little too bright. And then I need to burn. Ta-da! Amazing. Actually, if you take your smudge and have it on a really high strength, I have strength 86. I'm gonna pull it up to 88. If you do that, then you can draw with the smudge tool, or you can take your paintbrush again and color pick and then draw. But I like using the smudge more. I wanted some more flyaways in. I wanted some more little hair down in there. Maybe just smudge this thing out. There. And then with the dodge tool, it always varies whether you have it set on highlights or midtones. It's rarely shadows unless you want to lighten up some of these shadows. I have mine on highlight, and so far that's been working for me. It's a highlight. With the dodge, you give it a little bit of sheen, give it a little bit of light, so that it shines kind of like a real main does, kind of. Like that. Need to darken this stuff again. Ta-da! Somewhat realistic now. This is really a quick one, so I'm not trying to be all fancy, whatnot. And then to make it dark, I'm gonna get a big brush and just kind of burn it, kind of. So that way I get a dark color on it. I kind of just destroyed all the hard work, but it's kind of worth it to do that. Just to get it dark so that it kind of matches his self. Save it before I bring it down, and next to work on is the tail. Tail base. I love drawing tails. It's like my favorite thing in the world. I don't know exactly if I want to keep that, because I don't really need it. So I'm going to take my eraser. That's not the eraser I wanted. Basic brushes. Have it set on 38. I'm just going to erase most of it, because I don't really need most of it. Yep, there. I don't really need most of it. Sometimes you want to keep the tail so that, so that way you know which way the hair is going. If I'm doing tails, I like having it at 100. I don't know. So this is where his tail started. Since its mane is flat, I kind of want the tail to be flat, kind of. This is real exciting, just watching me paint a tail. I'm just gonna draw it like this, and then I'm gonna erase around where his leg is. That way it kind of looks like his tail's going around where the mane is. And the backdrop's giving again. Okay. There we go. Oh, that's a pretty good tail. Can't really see much of it. Ooh, whoa. I'm always surprised by how different things look when I turn my screen really, really bright. Doesn't actually look all that bad, actually. Alright, on to the highlights again. Tail, 1. Sun. It doesn't have a lot of highlights, actually, because of where it is. It doesn't have, honestly, a lot of highlights. Well, yes, it kind of looks like that because of the background. It's because we haven't added his shadow in yet, so. Did I get light 1? Doesn't look like 1. I think I got the wrong light. No, I think I got the right one. It just looks weird. Okay, I gotta restart on this part of the tail. Oh, I forgot to erase some of this on. There we go. There we go. Okay. Tail light 2. My computer's still thinking really hard. probably like really harsh in the speakers. I just have nothing really to talk about while I paint this tail. Of course, now I found something still. Tail 3. Kind of looks weird. The highlights where they are. Oh. This tail just kind of looks weird to me. I don't know. Tail light 4. I don't think there's a lot of light here. It's just barely any, really. This kind of looks like, it just kind of looks weird to me. I don't know. I guess this is what happens when I do the main first. I don't usually do the main first. I was just so excited to get this started. Tail light 5. Ugh. Backdrop. It keeps falling and then it pushes my computer, which makes it hard for me to do this. I really need to fix the tape on it. I really should do that. But I'm in the middle of recording right now. And I want to get this done. I think this is going to be like an hour. I've worked on this thing. It's like an hour long. Yikes. Tail light 6. Okay, this is looking a lot better actually, now that I've added all those highlights. I'm probably gonna have to burn them all out. Okay. Alright. Put in the last few little streaks of light and stuff. I didn't add any light to the tip of the tail, and I think I will do that with this. Alright. I like putting my tablet down. Oh, now I gotta crack my finger. I gotta get my fingers. I'm cramped from holding the pen too long. Alright. Duplicate. I'm going to merge down, then I'm going to make a copy and hide it. Alright. Woo. Down. 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 Oh, duplicate. Duplicate. Merge down. Merge down. Duplicate. I almost want to keep it like that. Almost. Without width. Without width. Without width. We'll see what happens when I go with that. I mean, I can always add it in later, I think. Well, let's see. Yeah, I can always add it in later. So, back to the pen and back to this. I don't remember why I had it on 99. Oh, never mind. I remember why I had it on 99 now. So, alright. I like going in the tail. And remembering that I have it. Well, then just burn where the highlights and stuff are. I'm going to burn quite a bit down here. Because that's not where a lot of light is going. It's actually shielded by his butt. Horsey butt. I don't know why I find this so amusing. Probably because it's almost midnight. And then, because there's like a little, it shows where the tail bone thingy is. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna burn a little bit down in here. Show the shadows. I don't usually do this actually, believe it or not. And then do more of that with the horsey butt. Goodbye, horsey butt. Da 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 da, weird song. I never got any of the highlights in here. Even if it's highlighted, you want to get a little bit of burn down in here because then it looks more real like that. And then time for highlights. Since most of the highlights are this way, let me just do that. I think some highlights are over here. And then you need it really big. To get it to the same level of darkness as his hair. And then move some like that. I have to get a little bit more. To pick out a few more strands of his hair from here. And then I gotta erase some of the tail because it is in the grass, so I need to erase some of it. There we go. Oh, I forgot it's forelock. Well, I'll do a quick fix for that. I really don't like doing forelocks because they're so darn small. Do forelock base. For the forelock, this is what I do for it. Is I will actually have the brush at 100, but it's at 3. Because I draw better with 3. And so I'm just gonna do quick. I'm gonna do a quick forelock thing over here. Because originally his forelocks swooped this way. It's a lot of drawing, but it's kind of worth it in the end for me. don't look all that stupid, I suppose. I'm just trying to cover up some of the hair that's actually on his head. Just because I don't want to. I'm proving to you guys how lazy I am right now. Sorry about that. I might need to erase a little bit. The erase tool's so fun. Alright. And so I'm just gonna take a big dodge tool and just put in highlights like this. I don't like having it this big, actually. See, if I put it on 5 with this amount of opacity, I can get away with some stuff. And then 3 to get the fine highlights. And then you can't forget to burn it. I know I'm taking the easy way out and just drawing it with burning and dodging. But it's like, I think this has gone on for like an hour, and so I really need to wrap it up. There. Oop. There. Okay. And so the last final things for this is, when you're doing hair, you really need to remember to add a shadow under the hair, otherwise it's not realistic. And so set your burn on highlight and then just go under the hair like this, and and then just do this. That way it looks burned. Oh, and I gotta fix this. I'll show you a little bit on how to fix something like this. You take your eyedropper, you pick a color fairly close to where the thing is that you're removing, and then with the 3 brush, you just take it and you do this. You just do this. I'm gonna add a couple gray spots to his ear because he is a dapple, and so he needs his ear gray spots. And then I need to erase here. There. Looks realistic, actually. There. Alright, and now I'm going to duplicate this because it's the easiest thing to get to. Set my color to black and do that. And now I need to make this normal. Okay, so because the shadow or the light is going this way, if you see my arrow, watch what it's doing. It is going this way. So we need to turn this layer, the completely black layer, like this, as close to squared to the original as it is. Then image, rotate, flip horizontal. So that way it looks like this. Then you move it down here, you line it up with his feet. And while it's still like this, you take this, what is it called? This skew tool. Then you pull it this way some, and then you pull it that way. Try and match it up to the shadows on the picture. And then I'm going to take this, what is this? What tool is this? This scale tool. And I'm going to move it like this. I'm going to take the skew tool and skew it some more. Skew it this way some more. Then take the move tool, move it like this. Yep. I think this is what. And then you want to lower the opacity some. Shadows are pretty solid actually on this piece. And then I'm just going to take the eraser and erase what's left on here. Okay, ta-da! Now the only thing left is I have to get rid of this black border because I don't have it on here, on the rest of it. And so I'm just gonna move the background some. Make it go up some and make it go that way. That way I get rid of that. Make sure it doesn't look stupid. Or than it already does, but you know. And then he actually needs some more highlights this way, over here. Come on. Come on, dodgy tool. He needs a couple more highlights this way. Needs to be a little burned in the mid-tones on his back. Just trying to get rid of that color, that weird color that's there. And then, while it's still under here, I'm gonna paint his eye. Eye base, and I'm gonna give him a pale periwinkle-ish colored eye. You get in as close as you can. And I like using the number 4 brush for an eye. Gonna erase a little bit here. There we go. And then with the burn tool, you have to set it on highlights. And then you burn a place where the dark on his eye is. And then you burn a little bit on the sides to show things there. Then I'm going to use the saturate his eye a little. I think it needs to be gone over with black. This part right here. Just a little bit here. And saturate the very tip of this. It's really light on here. Always have your highlight for the eye in a new layer. I'm not gonna label this one. Then take a 1 pixel brush and create the highlight for his eye. Then lower the opacity so it doesn't look as, like, I don't know, done stuff to whatever it is. I think it's still a little too bright, considering what is going on. Oh, wrong tool. Wanted to dodge. Turn it a little back here. Ta-da! Alright, the only thing left is to add credits. Never forget the credits. So I like having my credits all the way up top. That way I know where that layer is. Ooh, whoa, really big font. Background. Ano, D-Y-N-E. Stock. And then I need to, whoa, come back here. Then I need to, 3.5. I need to make it bigger, that way you can actually read it. Horse. Colorize. Stock. Both. At deviantart.com. Manip. Bella Designs. Bella Designs is my DeviantArt name, so you can go find me on there if you have a DeviantArt, or even if you don't and you just want to see my whole gallery full of art. It's mostly pony art, but hey, art is art. That's my favorite kind of art. One of my favorite kind of arts. I'm actually gonna use, this is weird, like with, it's weird. With this, if you do that, and then you do that, it doesn't shrink or make the words weird. No, I gotta find, here it is. And now I just have to move it to where I like it. Here, and then Siggy, my signature, edit, copy, and then up here, YouTube project, edit, paste. I will also have the link to this work of art in the description, so you can go and view it on DeviantArt. And there we go. YouTube project finished. I don't know what I'm going to sell it for on Horseland yet, but yeah. So thank you for watching this episode of Let's Photoshop. I will probably do at least one more episode showing like how to remove a halter or something, or actually, or actually doing a forelock or something. Anyways, I really need to get to bed. But I work better in Photoshop at night. So anyways, good night.